also explore. But it's also the case too that we can't do everything by ourselves, and just like any team, there's more than one person involved, and I think there'll be more than one human and one robot, and more than just robots. Really, I think the future is humans and robots together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. How about one more question from the chat before we move on, which I have now lost. Space TV Net, hello, wants to know what animal shape is the best for robots in zero gravity. Is there an animal nature inspiration for the shapes that work? There seem to be a lot of spheres. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, well, but I think part of that is, we like, at least for flying robots, to have some sort of symmetry to them because you can fly in any direction in space. Sometimes I think robot design draws inspiration from animals. Biology has obviously evolved all kinds of different shapes, different forms, and we like to try to take advantage of that. Yeah. But we also sometimes draw inspiration, as we said, from like science fiction. The idea that people come up with in Hollywood for robots. I mean, sometimes it's like, hey, we should use that.
Work.
That could work.
Well, and a lot of times shape also, it depends on what functionality you're looking for. So you build it so that it's most efficient at the job that you want to accomplish. So
that's what drives it.
That drives the shape.
Definitely.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, speaking of science fiction, my question for you is, we see robots all over in movies and TV shows, comics, everything. What are your favorites?
Oh, that's easy. I mean, for me, my favorite robot is K9, which comes from Doctor Who. K9 was the Doctor's robot dog, and it had basically, a supercomputer built inside and a little laser in its nose. But K9, no question.
Have you built a dog robot yet?
I have not, but if somebody had one,
Well, I have to say that one of our previous robots in our group was named K9.
Oh, it was? Okay, after the Doctor Who robot?
Yes.
Nice. Excellent.
Nice.
Yeah, and I have to say, I don't really play favorites. I don't really have a favorite robot. I'm sorry. My favorites are real robots. So I have some favorites among them.
I mean, someone like you in your position, that's fair, I think. All right. Well, speaking of your favorites, well, no, let's come to that in just a moment.
Okay.
So we wanted to talk about characteristics.
Yeah, like what kind of qualities do you look for in a robot?
Yeah.
Right?
We look for robots that can really help out, especially when we're talking about humans and robots in space.
Together,
to really work well together. And I think just like here on Earth, there's no single definition of what a team is. The same is true in space. I mean, in fact, we could have robots that work, say, before humans, or robots that work after humans, or maybe even in parallel, or in support. So the idea is that you could have a team in all kinds of, different settings. And so sometimes we build robots to do things that might take a long period of time, and you have them work either before or after. Other times we want robots that can interact more sort of like human pacing. So just like we're talking, we'd like robots that can react to us, too.
Oh, yeah. Right. Do you remember the other day Terry told us his comparison to
like raising a kid?
Yeah. I should say that, and Maria and I, we spend, all of our time here at work, thinking about and trying to build robots.
Right.
Sometimes I'll admit it's frustrating because it's not unlike, trying to raise kids. You want them to grow up to be, good autonomous team members and to work with you. Sometimes I'm not sure if it's more or less challenging than trying to build robots to do the same thing. I will say that my kids have grown up to be, far more autonomous and independent than my robots. So that's a little bit of a disappointment because I want my robots to do as well.
Just as well.
Yeah. But one of these days.
There are certainly times when you say, why did it do that?
Speaking, as a father, I would say, sometimes I look at my kids like, why did they, but anyway.
Why did they do that? Why did my robot behave that way?
Yeah.
Why did my robot vacuum cleaner choose to get wedged under the couch?
What was it thinking?
I love that. The day in the life of building robots.
Minds of their own. Well, should we talk about one of your
my favorite robots?
Let's
talk about my favorite robot, which is Astroby.
Astroby. So for you Astroby fans,
we have one right here.
Look at that.
That's right. This is what we call our stunt double.
The stunt double for
Astroby.
What's the name of the stunt double?
in general, these robots are called Astrobee or Astrobees, but they each have their own name and a color.
Yes.
So this stunt double model you see is, here, let me turn it so you can see the color better, is orange and is called Killer Bee.
Killer Bee.
But we also have 3 of these on space station currently, and they are named Bumble, which is blue, Honey, which is yellow, and Queen, which is green.
So cute.
So,
love the
when
bee
we see
reference.
them, on camera. We always know which one it is based on the color.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is my favorite robot. We just finished building these and launching them.
Yeah,
very exciting.
Yeah, it's
And
been an
full
exciting year for the
disclosure
project.
here, it's Maria's favorite robot because the past 4 years
Of my life.
Oh, yeah.
it's been spent working
Nothing
on
but
this robot.
Astrobee. Yes, exactly.
Fair enough.
So when
That's
you
your
ask how long it takes to build something, well, Astrobee, it's been now almost 5 years since we started, but
That's true.
But we finished building them and launching them within those 5 years. So they're now starting to operate within those 5 years. So about little over 4 years to build the actual flight units.
All right.
And so I can tell you a little bit about how these work. Usually the number one question I get when talking about Astrobees was, how do they move in zero G, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So first of all, Astrobee only works inside the space station because it needs air. It's fan-based propulsion. There are 2 fans on board. These sort of circular. Here, rotate it
we
again
can turn it. Yeah.
so you can see it better. There we go. The circular opening that you see on the side. Maybe scooch it that way a little. There we go. Steering here. Okay.
So the circular thing looks
The
like a speaker?
circular thing looks kind of like a speaker. There's an impeller fan in there, so that pulls air in and lightly pressurizes the propulsion module. And then those grills that you see, there's 2 on every side, so there's 12 total. That's right.
I've seen
Those
Abby's
are
hand
nozzles.
there.
There's
Yeah,
Abby's
that's
fingers
me.
coming in this
Right.
screen.
She's
Right?
creepy like Maria's hands.
So those are the nozzles, and they open and close, releasing some of that pressurized air. And that's how it pushes itself around the space station.
All right.
So yeah, it's very light pressure. It's only about 0.1 psi over the ambient station pressure. So very safe. It's not going to blow up or anything.
The astronauts don't feel a wind.
They will
blowing.
You'll feel the
do
breeze.
they?
In fact, we've seen it when it's operating on orbit. We'll see like hair moving,
really? Okay.
little flags fluttering. So yeah, you can definitely see the air is moving.
Yeah,
but
I see.
it's not going to push them out of the way.
right,
They're a
right,
little too
right.
massive for this to push them
Gotcha.
out.
Yeah,
Yes.
cool. All right.
So, and then of course the other question we always get is how does it know where it is? How does it move and navigate?
and not crash into the walls and that sort of
Exactly.
thing.
Yeah. And
Or
the
bump
way it
into
does that
astronauts.
is this sort of central white section that you see right there
Yeah.
is the heart and soul of it. It's the core module. Inside are 3 cell phone class computers, so pretty much the same as your cell phone. And it uses a camera. I don't know if
Actually,
it
it uses a set of
there we
cameras.
go, set of cameras. But the main camera, the navigation camera on this end right there, it uses that camera to look at features inside the space station.
Okay.
So it has a map that it keeps on board of features. It knows where those features should be in the station, and then as it's flying around, it compares what it currently sees to that map to
Right.
figure out where it is.
Say,
in the
okay.
station.
Yeah, so just like humans recognize landmarks to understand
Yeah.
where we are, this does that, but in a much more precise manner.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that Maria was kind of pointing at is that we've added a whole bunch of cameras on here that's really enable it to fly around and know where it is. Some of these are optimized for really sort of like the close-in docking that you might want to do with a robot, where you need a lot of accuracy. And others are for just sort of like free flight, where you're really just trying to worry about, hey, am I going to, be in the center of a module or near a wall and that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. I see.
And then the last thing I like to point out on this model, and part of the main purpose of this robot is to carry payloads. We are actually going